Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
All right, everybody, it's time for another episode of Marketing School. I'm your host, Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to be talking about how you can go about doing a competitive analysis. What are they doing exactly? You want to know what strategies are working for them, what you can ethically steal, and then you can figure out what you want to go about implementing. And you can also see what they're doing wrong too, to kind of, laugh in the background. So I guess I can kick things off by saying, if you use a tool like SEMrush or Hrefs, you can go into their organic search research sections and you can look at their pages that are the top performing pages. And it's going to show you, for their top performing pages, how many keywords these pages are ranking for, what keywords they're ranking for exactly. And then from there, you can kind of work backwards, go to that page and figure out why did that page do so well. What can you reverse engineer? Is it because they had a lot of links? Is it because there's a lot of content? Is it because of the way it was formatted? What is it exactly that you can steal from that? And basically from there, you have a template for success. And here's the thing. Oftentimes when you use a strategy like this, you're going to see they only have a couple of pages that are top performers. What's not to stop them from saying, hey, why don't we replicate this strategy and make a bunch of top performing pages? So, this has worked in the past. We have looked at competitors that have done well. And basically, I'll give you an example here. These aren't exactly competitors, but we bought from the software as a service industry. We looked at companies like HubSpot. We looked at companies like Qualaroo would be a good example as well, where they were basically using a hub and spoke model, which basically means from an SEO perspective and a content perspective, you have one main page. So that page might be around, what is digital marketing, right? Then you might have some spokes around it too. So these are the pages that you're cross-linking to. These are the other chapters that you're linking to. And these chapters are all cross-linking to the main page and to each other as well. And that way, they're all lifting each other up. So we were looking at these different websites and we saw, okay, wow, they're all using the same strategy over here. Why don't we go and try it out? And what do you know? It actually ended up working. So that's one example of making something like this work for you. Check it out, SEMrush, Hrefs, that's one way to start digging into your competitors' SEO/content strategy.
There's a few other tools that you can end up using. One of them is called Built With. It shows you all the software and solutions that your competition is using. So if they're using like Optimizely or Crazy Egg or any A/B testing solution, it shows you that. Then you can go and try to screen capture their A/B test, so then that way you can see what they're running in the long run, because typically that means it's converting higher. And you can copy that to try to boost your conversions. Another tool that you can end up using is What Runs Where. What Runs Where captures all of your competition's ads. It like banners and everything. It'll capture all of it, so you can be like, oh cool, here are all their creatives. I'm not saying go and steal them, but you can use them for ideas. SEMrush also tells you what keywords your competition is bidding on. So if you're doing pay-per-click, it'll give you a full breakdown of, hey, here are your competitors and here are all the keywords that they're bidding on. And that'll give you a rough idea if they're making money. Reason being is most people, especially if it's a small and medium business, they're not going to go burn thousands of dollars if they're not making any revenue. I wouldn't do this with like a General Motors or someone big like that. Why? Because they probably don't track ROI the same way that a small startup does. And I actually know this for a fact because I work with some of these big brands. Some of them, they'll spend $5 million a month. I remember I was managing a pay-per-click budget for a big car company. $5 million a month. Can you guess what kind of ROI they were getting? Well, if they're spending $2 million, they would have got the same ROI. They didn't care. They were just burning the extra $3 million for one reason only. They're like, it'll be good for branding. We like it. We want the budget for the next quarter. Kind of silly in some aspects, but hey, they're going to do whatever they want to do.
One other thing I like to look at that I've been doing recently, going back to the tool Hrefs, if you look at a competitor, you're able to see, and this actually plays into Moz as well. Hrefs, basically, it will allow you to look at a kind of monthly graph, and it's going to show you each day how many new links a site has acquired. So it can be the overall links and also the linking root domains. And if you're able to look at a competitor, and a competitor is building 40 to 50 links a month, and 40 to 50 links a day, and you're sitting at 10 a day, and you look at the report and they're getting clearly more organic keywords, they're ranking for more organic keywords than you are, their domain authority is higher than yours, well, you have a problem. they're kicking your ass because they're out link building you. So now but just by looking at that, you can try to reverse engineer their links. You can try to you're behind, so you need to start figuring out how you can catch up and even overtake them. So that's one way you can go about looking at where you kind of stand and then trying to reverse engineer and trying to overtake them by kind of stacking strategies on top to beat them out. So another thing, I mean with Moz, which is another SEO tool, what I like doing with Moz is I like stacking my competitors together. You go into the Open Site Explorer section, and then you're able to compare side by side how you stack up against your competitors with all these SEO metrics. Page authority, how are you looking? Number of total followed linking root domains, and you can also look at a variety of other metrics as well, such as I believe it's the Moz rank as well. But the key thing is here. If you have something like this and you have multiple stakeholders, you have partners at the company, or you have superiors, you're making a strong case right there that, hey, we're getting our asses handed to us right now, and we need to do something about it. So using something like this can actually drive action, because oftentimes executives don't understand much about SEO. But here's one thing I know. When you show somebody that they're falling behind from a competitive standpoint, well, you're able to actually take action and you're able to drive growth for your company. So this is how you can actually go about competing with your customers, because in the past you weren't able to drive action, now you are. So it might look like just competitive analysis, but it's actually a lot more than that.
I also created a tool for social media analysis, and the reason I did is because I wanted it for myself. So if you go to neilpatel.com, you then go into the footer or somewhere in the navigation, you click on tools, you'll see a box that just says put in your URL. It says SEO Analyzer, but there's a social media tab in there. So put in a URL of a competitor, or you can put in all your competitors. When you go into the content marketing analysis tab, it'll break down all the popular pieces of content that your competition wrote. Not from an SEO standpoint, not from a linking standpoint that you can see with Ahrefs or SEMrush, but this shows you what's hot on the social web. This will give you a good idea of the type of stuff you should be blogging about and this type of stuff you should be avoiding. Because the tool also breaks down all the pieces of content that they wrote that did not do well on the social web. So if you're seeing a trend of, hey, the industry doesn't like these pieces of content, don't write them. It would just be a waste of money. If you notice that the industry likes a specific type of content, like how-to guides, lists, or actionable type of posts, or posts on specific topics, write more of that kind of stuff.
You can also use another tool called SimilarWeb, which kind of similar to what runs where, which allows you to see ads. But SimilarWeb is a little more comprehensive. It'll show you what type of mobile applications a site has. It'll also show you the traffic breakdown. What percent is referral, what percent is organic. It'll also show you the top referring sites as well. And guess what? It's going to show you similar websites to that one. So you can start to really dive in and do more analysis around that. So SimilarWeb, check it out. There's a free version and there's also a premium version as well. We have a good baseline right here. Neil, do you have anything to add around competitive analysis?
That's pretty much it on my end. If you use those tools, you'll do fine. The key is don't try to do too much at once when it comes to competitive analysis, because you can get lost really quickly. Just do a few things at once, whether it's SEO or social media or conversion optimization or looking at someone's paid ads. Pick one category that you're working on for your marketing. Look at your competitors from that one channel only. And then from there, once you figure out, hey, what they're doing that's successful, and once you figured out how to integrate that into your own marketing, then you can move across other channels like SEO or conversion or whatever, assuming you started with, let's say, paid advertising.
All right, that's it for now. We'll see you in tomorrow's episode of Marketing School.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.